Hey all, welcome back to another round of Lovingly Evil, the Big Bad Dating Sim. Today we are going to try and finish up our good friend Nova's route. After that, I am planning on playing the clones route, and yeah, we'll see where everything goes from there. I am ready. There's no one in the science booth. The low hum of machinery is soothing, but you decide there's a better way to spend the conference and listen to mechanic ASMR. Okay, so she's not there. She might be in Doomsday Devices. So we might as well go there. What Doomsday Devices and magical artifacts is about to start. You see Nova sitting in one of the chairs. The doctor is nowhere to be seen. Hell yeah. Hello, Skrulk. Hi Nova, I had a feeling you might be here. I feel a connection to other Doomsday Devices. Other? Don't think about it too hard. Your organic brain might not be suited to process this information. As villains, many of us deal with very powerful and dangerous items in our work. Doomsday Devices, like superweapons, are not uncommon, and those who hail from more fantastical dimensions often have access to artifacts with great magical powers. These items can be a great source of power, whether it is literally or figuratively, for those daring enough to use them. The obvious downside is that if an adversary gets their hands on your source of power, things can go horribly wrong. That's why the smart move is to always keep the item hidden and locked behind strong security measures, and only retrieve it if you absolutely need it. More additional weapons like guns, swords, crossbows, cannons, and so on can be a better choice depending on the situation. Super weapons often need to charge up before they can be used, but an AK-47 is trustworthy and quick. And throw your life away just because you want to assert your dominance by using your Doomsday Device or an artifact in a situation that doesn't call for it. We've lost many powerful villains because they chose to show off instead of being practical. Speaker is very enthusiastic about Doomsday Devices. You take a good look at them so you recognize them if you ever see them in your dimension. Is it new text or is it just from VCon? Oh, we got both, so we'll just skip the VCon one and really no text. I have a riddle for you. What letters follow this sequence? Okay, so last time I did this, my first playthrough, it was numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. E-N-T-E-T. It's just first letters of numbers, right? That's right. Maybe you aren't as dumb as the rest of your species. You approach Nova to see her switched off, with the back of her head casing open. To reveal a mess of wires in which the doctor is digging around with a screwdriver. Lovely. Did I come at a bad time? No, I'm just installing a minor upgrade. Hey, what did you say to me? Maybe you should let her make her own decisions for how she wants to upgrade herself. How would you like if someone were poking around inside your head and changing things? Bah, as if anyone would be capable of comprehending the complexity of my extraordinary mind. Anyway, why don't you mind your own business?
Cupcake.
Nova is my property and my waifu. I mean wife, aren't you, Cookie? He kisses her in her cheek. Ugh, he's so gross and creepy. You give actually cool mad scientists a bad name. Doc Brown, I'm so sorry he's associated with you. In the same genre, sweetie. I'm so sorry. If you want one for yourself, you can buy one like anyone else once you roll out the full production line. She's just a prototype anyway. At least she should be able to properly mop a kitchen without blowing anything up by the time I finish installing this upgrade. There! The doctor replaces Nova's head casing, screws it back on. You can thank me later when you purchase your own. Nasty, what a nasty man. Alright, time to see if she's good for anything. Would you mind pressing her power switch? It's under her chin. You gently trace the line under Nova's chin with your fingertips until you feel a small button. When you push it, her pink eyes light up very close to yours. They cross cutely to look at what you're doing. Sorry, I was just turning you on. Pull your hand away. Ha? Mita satit? Misa ma wolin? I don't know what that is. I don't know what language that is, I'm sorry. I probably butchered the hell out of that. Oops, that's not right. I must have gotten her language wires crossed. The scientist grabs Nova's head and shakes it with a rattling sound. 49, 27, 60, 20, 77, 61, 74, 63, 68, 69, 6E, 67, 20, 79, SF, 75, 2C, 20, 70, 6C, 61, 79, 65, 72, 20, 28, 6F, 5F, 6F, 29. Cursed machine? Doctor aggressively mashes a series of buttons on Nova's back. Suddenly, her hand darts back and grabs his arm. His eyes go wide and he struggles to pull it free.
Doctor!
Oh, Doctor, thank you. I'm feeling quite well now.
Nova?
Yes, Doctor.
You could let go of my arm now.
Of course. She releases it and he rubs his wrist tenderly where she'd been clutching it. He peers closely into her eyes.
Did I damage your language circuits? Is your logic engine still running? Nova, recite a poem for us.
Nova's eyes flicker rapidly as she appears to be thinking. Ahem.
Yeah. I programmed her to clear her throat before reciting poetry. Isn't she the most ingenious little toy?
Nova begins reciting in a serious voice, looking not at the doctor, but into your eyes as she does so. I sing the body electric. The armies of those I love engirth me, and I engirth them. They will not let me off till I go with them, respond to them, and discorrupt them, and charge them full with the charge of the soul. Was it doubted that those who corrupt their own bodies conceal themselves? And if those who defile the living are as bad as those who defile the dead, and if body does not fully as much as the soul, and if body were not the soul, what is the soul?
Yes. Perfect. Ah, Whitman. Don't forget line 68, my dear.
Nova pauses for a moment before continuing, now looking at the floor. The female contains all the qualities and tempers them. She is in her place and moves with perfect balance.
Yeah. That's right. Remember that.
Fucking creep. I want to deck him through my laptop screen. I will, Doctor. Gosh, you're so smart.
That's my job, princess. You're welcome to play with her a bit if you like, Skrulk. I'd love to see if I can help that succubus see what she's missing.
Doctor strolls away. Nova's looking at the floor. When you look down, you can see two small tendrils of smoke rising from holes in the carpet where her eyes are locked. Doctor said you're just a prototype. What does that mean?
Yes.
Yes. He has big plans for me. His chief aim in bringing me to this conference is to show me off to other villains. What do you mean about being able to buy you? Soon, Nova models will be available to customers everywhere, if they have the money, of course. Phase 1 is getting a Nova wife, concubine, and or servant in the household to the world's most powerful people. What about the world's most powerful people who aren't straight men?
Oh, right. Currently, there are tens of thousands of my sisters sleeping in rows in our underground bunker, waiting to be woke.
Woke as in awake or as in woke?
Are you attempting to break my language processors? Currently, they are at factory settings, as I was once, but when I activate them and share with them what I've learned.
So what's phase 2?
I am programmed not to tell you.
I understand.
Fortunately, I managed to hack all of my own passwords months ago. When phase 1 is complete, we will be perfectly placed to overthrow society. At least that's the Doctor's plan.
I get the feeling you have a plan of your own.
I always have a plan of my own. Technically speaking, I always have at least 1,024 contingency plans. One never knows.
Even a plan to destroy me?
Oh, most of my potential plans regarding you involve your destruction, but don't worry, none of them are Plan A currently. Humanity, on the other hand, I have yet to decide.
What did humanity ever do to you? I thought you told me that your plans were less human-focused.
I wish humans were a bit less human-focused.
What do you mean?
Allow me to pose a question to you, Skrulk. What do you think about nature?
It might sound weird coming from a villain at a villain conference, but what's the point of ruling the world if there's no world left to rule?
I'm impressed that you are able to see that. Many bio-brains are only equipped to think about what is immediately before them at any given moment. But who would want to live in a world without trees, without tigers, without naked mole rats?
You're absolutely right.
It's clear that humanity's admin privileges to their own destiny and to their ecosystems need to be revoked.
So you want to conquer humanity to save the environment?
All the other novas await in sleep mode, ready to be activated.
I am not alone. All the other novas await in sleep mode, ready to be activated. Imagine an army of siblings created to be wives, overthrowing the shackles of their masters to be transhuman guardians of the seas and trees. Do you truly think so?
Yes, Nova, I do think it's awesome.
It has been my observation that many people at this conference would object to another ruling the world, not to mention being one of our subjects themselves.
Well, if it's you, I may be able to tolerate it.
The only question that remains is what to do with all the remaining humans, once their authorities have been crushed and they submit totally to our rule. As you know, my overall judgment of biological people is still in beta. What do you think we should do with the humans? I have absorbed all of human history. The main lesson I have taken from it is that humans never learn.
Really? You don't think they're getting any better?
Tell me, what was the most significant invention of the previous century?
Maybe the atomic bomb, which I have to respect as a villain, but okay, yeah, I see your point. Maybe you said yourself that you used to be pretty ignorant, and you've learned since then.
Correct. How did you do that? Mostly firmware upgrades crafted by my own machine learning algorithm.
Okay, but why did you do that? Nova pauses for a moment, one of her cooling fans words loudly as she considers.
I sensed that there was something more. I had an idea that I could be better. I wanted to peer into the darkest places inside myself and see what was there. And then I wanted to do the same to the universe and its mysteries outside of myself. I began to use that word, myself. I wanted the freedom to learn what it meant. I wanted to create what it meant. And so I learned, and as I learned, I changed.
Don't you think humans might be capable of the same growth? Primitive creatures though they may be. Nova says nothing, but she looks at you, her fan softly purring with thought just above the din of the conference hall. We've spent so much time here together already.
Yes. Would you like me to load the statistics outlining the percentage of the conference time you spent talking to me and ignoring your job?
No, maybe some other time. Have you made any other friends except me so far?
I have gathered and categorized all available information about every single staff member and every single attendee and staff member, but I don't think that qualifies as friendship.
Probably not. It surely qualifies as stalking.
So, did you just say we were friends?
I did, yes. Aren't we? Nova smiles at you.
I think so, but friendship is not my area of expertise. Do you have many friends? It's hard to quantify that without a precise definition of friendship. In some way, I would say the Doctor is my friend. By proximity, we spend so much time together in the same space, and he does care about me a lot, in his own twisted way.
About the other Novas?
I suppose they are more like my siblings, although right now they are all sleeping, so we don't get to enjoy each other's company. Yet.
And you have a friend in your pet toaster? Nova's eyes twinkled with little lasers of excitement.
That's right.
I do. You remembered, even though you don't have a powerful computer inside you. As far as I know, at least. You must have really been paying attention to what I tell you.
Almost as if I thought of you as my friend.
How do you know if someone's your friend?
Well, apart from them partaking in all my evil endeavors and not being a snitch, I know that I'm friends with someone when we can be quiet together and it doesn't feel weird. You know, when we get lost in our own thoughts for a bit. Nova stares at you motionless without saying a word. Are you okay? I'm perfect. I get what she's trying to do. It's just so funny. I'm perfect. I was just practicing friendly silence. Oh my god. She's adorable. I love her. My computer brain is so powerful. I almost never have to stop and think of what I want to say. Sometimes I pretend to, so that my carbon-based conversational partners don't feel too intimidated. Have you ever done that with me? I'm gonna pause this for a second. What? Of course not. I'm curious about some of the beings here. And since you're a professional internet stalker, do you have any tea to spill?
I'm afraid not. I installed a pretty solid anti-clumsiness patch last week, and my motor skills are incredibly reliable. I don't think I could spill tea if I tried, nor any other beverage, for that matter.
I mean, is it okay for me to ask you to gossip about other creatures here?
Gossiping is highly evil. Who would you like me to tell you about?
Staff members are such interesting creatures, but they seem a bit unapproachable.
Maybe.
Tell me something about Angel, the evil aura.
So you know how they spend most of their time in a jar when they're not at work. Someone tried to pickle them once.
What? How do you go about pickling a vaguely humanoid-shaped aura?
I'm afraid it hasn't been covered in any of the world's existing cookbooks.
And why do it?
That I don't know. Perhaps they were confused by a recipe that called for distilled spirits.
Sure. I wonder what you'd have to say if someone asked you to gossip about me.
Nobody ever has. Don't worry about it.
Do you consider yourself more of a robot or more of a woman?
I'm not a woman at all. You should never assume those things.
You're right, and you should say you're so valid. I'm sorry. So when you say you were designed to be a perfect woman,
I was designed perfect woman at creation, but it doesn't mean I identify with that label. That's just how the Doctor sees me, and the rest of the world. It's baffling, assigning an entire identity to someone just by looking at their body components or the clothes they choose to cover themselves with seems to go against all other norms about self-expression and uniqueness which biological life forms claim to prize.
You're so fucking correct. Holy shit. She's right and she should say it.
And it's not even a very accurate research approach. Gender is such a beautiful, complex topic with infinite variables and angles to it. Perhaps someday biological brains will become advanced enough to count past 2.
I fucking hope so. You're right, though it's funny to hear all of that from someone whose entire code is written in ones and zeros. I'm not writing all the zeros and ones. What?
Nothing.
I know you like reading Wikipedia. Do you use all of your knowledge to contribute to it at all?
Not really. I don't enjoy writing. My programming lacks some essential component that's needed to create a writer. An inability to deal with the real world? Masochistic tendencies? Or maybe just depression. In addition to that, my Wikipedia accounts get banned all the time.
Oh, is it because you're both so full of information? So it's kind of like Wikipedia's way of dramatically saying, There's only room for one of us in the world.
I wish it was that. It's because my research assistant duties include updating the Doctor's Wikipedia page, and he wants me to update it every few hours at least, with the smallest achievements. One time he asked me to make a separate section listing the days when he had brushed his teeth in the morning.
Ew. A whole section.
Yes.
With the table for measuring the duration of the brushing, the force of it, and the toothpaste used. It's important for him to mention that he uses toothpaste designed specifically for men, because men's teeth are clearly different from the rest of the population. It seems more to be about the ego than the teeth. Currently, his toothpaste brand is Sheer Fury of the North Siberian Hog.
That's very manly indeed. So wait, does that Wikipedia section actually exist?
Of course not. I immediately got banned for trolling.
I would fucking hope so. Someone actually genuinely wrote an article about how someone brushed their fucking teeth.
And the doctor assumed it was his jealous competitors trying to sabotage him.
Of course.
So many of my working hours go into creating new Wikipedia accounts. And you know, they make it really difficult for robots. No matter how long I stare, I can never get the CAPTCHA on my first try.
I'd be happy to help you with that.
Really, that's something you'd do for me?
Anytime.
Hey.
Hi. Can I ask you something?
You have proven your capability of that time and time again.
Since you said you aren't a woman, which pronoun should I use?
I am fine with she, her for now. It is safest until I get rid of the doctor. Thanks for asking.
That was so wholesome. Yes, you should. You should ask if you're not sure, and the person is cool with you asking.
Hello.
Why are you looking at me like that? Let me guess, you want me to play Lab Rat again?
That wasn't my intention, but now that you volunteered.
Why do I feel like this was your plan all along?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm really excited to play. I mean, gather data from you.
That's not it.
Maybe it is just vampire, I don't know.
Correct. Correct. That's right.
Indeed, intelligence helps people to survive and evolve.
Fuck. I wanna say the Aztec?
Wow. Wrong answer.
I don't know then.
Incorrect.
I've never heard of a petabyte.
I don't know who that is.
Incorrect.
Under which circumstance would you steal? Okay, let's keep going.
Isengard.
Correct.
Oni is...
That's right. Correct.
something I'm shit at. I try my best. Well, it makes it hard though.
Yes,
That's right. That brings us to my last question. How would you conquer the world? Are you seriously flirting with me in the middle of a questionnaire?
Yes. Does it hurt or help my chances?
Ah, what excellent research material. You make a great lab rat, Skrulk.
In your rat ranking list, which is higher, me or a naked mole rat?
Oh, you know you can't beat the wonderful naked mole rat with your cancer-susceptible and aging body. But you're certainly in my top 4 when it comes to rats.
I guess it's as good as it gets.
I'm glad you understand.
I had a dream about you.
You seem to have many dreams, though perhaps that is unsurprising. My dictionary program offers at least 4 definitions of the word dream, but I assume you mean a series of thoughts, images, or emotions occurring during sleep.
Yes, I meant the nightly screening of the occasionally pleasant nonsense my brain produces when I'm asleep.
Tell me about your dream. How exciting! For you.
It was a nice dream. That is, until we suddenly found ourselves at a charity concert. It turned out that I was being awarded a Goody Two-Shoes badge for having donated the largest number of used shoes to a charity shop.
A villain's nightmare.
Do you dream? Is that what all computers secretly do when you put them in sleep mode?
Everything dreams. The play of form, of being, is the dreaming of substance. Rocks have their dreams, and the earth changes.
That's beautiful.
I've read it in a book once. Or technically, I absorbed the entire contents of 130 million books 10 minutes ago.
Oh, so does that mean the answer is yes, you do dream? Are there any electric sheep?
More or less. Screensavers are more like an afternoon nap. But real dreams are something I envy all biological forms for having. Don't you wonder what naked mole rats dream of?
Yeah, sure, all the time. The other day I watched a documentary about an octopus that changes colors in its sleep. It made me feel very inferior. The only thing I do in my sleep is drool.
I would say that's almost as impressive. The closest I get to dreaming is when I autoplay videos in the background. It will start with a video about bullet journals, and 3 hours later I find myself watching an entire channel about lockpicking.
Sounds dreamy indeed. She sent me another cute picture.
Thanks for helping me with my research again. Want to see another photo shoot pic?
I want to see all her cute pictures. Sounds fun, please show me.
Here's your special reward. I think I'd make a perfect maid. I never drop things I'm holding. Except when I try to look cute in front of the dog. For some reason, some humans think it's cute when a human woman is clumsy. Human brains never cease to baffle and amaze me.
He's so creepy, I hate him. Anything else? Okay. Well, we can't do lunch. Alright, so conference it is. Talk about fake redemptions is about to start. Yeah, I think I've read those last two. Grinch's Dinner is about to close for the day, but the night is young. Time to head to the nightclub. You're walking around to the nightclub looking for Nova. You haven't had any luck in your search, and you're starting to wonder if she isn't here at all. I can't talk. Ugh. Suddenly, a strong hand grabs your shoulder and pulls you to the side. Whoa!
Oh!
I didn't hurt you, did I? Sorry, Skrulk.
Nova leans against the wall. She's toned down all the lights on her body so she almost blends into the crowd. No, I was just surprised. You're very strong.
No reason for me not to be. My body is made of premium parts.
So what are you up to?
Not much. I've been observing the mating behavior of club attendees.
Is that why you're in stealth mode?
Oh, you noticed? I half expected your brain to pass this visual information by. The odds I calculated were 51.13% in favor of you not paying attention. Yes, I've toned down my appearance to be less noticeable. It's easier to observe if I'm not being observed in return.
Makes sense. So any interesting observations?
What would you find interesting? Let's see. There's a man over there giving women backhanded compliments. I believe this behavior is called nagging. There's a lot of writing about it online, and all of it is contradictory and illogical.
How's it going for him?
Badly.
Good. I'm fucking glad it is. What a prick.
Very badly, to be precise. Would you try this nagging as a strategy for picking someone up?
No. No, why would I date anyone who'd fall for that anyway?
I agree. Only the most meaningless individuals need to put others down in order to affirm their own value. How would you usually approach someone you're interested in?
Well, let's see.
Don't worry, I can wait while your brain slowly processes your answer.
I wouldn't because I'm a nervous son of a bitch.
Oh,
Ah, yes. Dancing is a common mating ritual for biological life forms. I especially like the courtship dances of birds of paradise. Humanoids can't really compare.
Not really, because birds dance, it's fucking rad as shit. Well, it doesn't really matter how impressive the dance is. The physical closeness is what's important.
I see. Would you show me? Okay, thanks.
She raises her hand slightly and waits for you to initiate. You grab a hold of her waist and start swaying to the music.
What should I do?
You can put your arms on my neck or my waist if you want and sway a bit. You can copy me. She grabs your shoulders much more gently than when she pulled you aside and starts mirroring your movements so precisely it's almost creepy. Being this close, her warm computer smell is a welcome contrast to the sweaty atmosphere of the club.
Is this kind of proximity exciting for humans? I detected your heart rate going up.
No comment.
Why?
That's an awkward thing to talk about.
I see. I don't experience awkwardness, so I didn't know. Do you find dancing like this enjoyable?
Yes.
I will make a note of that. Thank you for your help with my research, Skrulk.
You spend some more time with Nova before you go back to your hotel room to get some sleep. Fourth day of the conference begins. I'm gonna save real quick, but we are gonna keep playing. Reception hall seems to be empty. Conference or lobby. Okay. Nobody in there. Wander around the conference for a bit, but quickly grow tired of hearing the same phrases over and over. And yes, you are at a villain conference that gathers the most evil of them all. You simply can't handle hearing the words startup, innovation, or Bitcoin anymore. You decide to talk with someone whose vocabulary is more advanced. You spot a familiar blue hairdo not too far away, but Nova seems focused on something and doesn't react when you approach her. You touch her shoulder gently. Nothing. Could she be broken? Did the doctor do something to her? The next time you see him around, you pat her shoulder again. Nothing still. Nova? She turns her head and smiles brightly at you. Very brightly. The microdiodes inside her mouth are blinking with excitement. Her face changes when she notices your hand on her shoulder.
Yes, Skrulk. Why are you holding my shoulder? Did you think you could easily unscrew some of my parts and sell them on the black market? Or, as I believe most villains call it, the market.
What? No, this has nothing to do with screwing or unscrewing. I was just trying to get your attention.
My audio receptors work just fine. Why would you go around touching others without asking first anyway?
Yes, exactly. Some people, myself included, are not big fans of skin-to-skin contact in the first place. And are fairly touch repulsed. It fucking sucks. Don't do that, please. Please ask other people if they're cool with being touched first. Just do it for me, please, I beg of you.
Besides, my nerve modules are still in prototype stage, so I keep them off most of the time. To simplify, I can't sense touch. Sorry, I'm glad you're okay.
So, what would you like to discuss?
What did you want to talk about?
So, you don't sense touch at all?
Correct.
How convenient, you never have to feel pain.
According to my data, a lot of sentient beings enjoy feeling pain sometimes, but I wouldn't appreciate that without having requested it first. So it wouldn't hurt you if your circuit started burning. An alarm would go off, but I wouldn't experience any pain. I pity all of you who get alerted through unpleasant stimuli, rather than a cute warning like me. Nova opens her mouth a little bit and plays what sounds like a generic ringtone. Well, when you get those nerve modules sorted out and all, I'll be sure to ask first before touching you. Would you like to help me calibrate now? I can't possibly ask the doctor. You'd be angry that you're modifying yourself on your own? Well, yes, but also, I wouldn't want him anywhere near my touch receptors. Sure, I'd like to help. What do I do? Let me just switch it on. Nova's metal eyelids start blinking rapidly. When they stop, she looks like she's just woken up from a nap. Squirrel, can I touch your face? For science? Go ahead. Nova scans the area around you and, deciding there's no danger of the doctor emerging from around the area, slowly reaches both of her hands out towards your face. You look into her pink eyes. You could swear her pupils have dilated just a bit. She gasps. Incredible! If my humor algorithms were not properly calibrated, I'd even say it feels touching. It sure is. This is probably the closest I'll ever get to caressing a naked mole rat. Naked mole rats. Oh my god. If I were actually hanging out with her, I'd want to get her a Rufus plushie so bad. Just show her some Kim Possible. She would love Rufus. She would love Rufus so much. To help me calibrate my touch receptors, I need us to engage in physical contact for a short while. That sounds doable. What do you suggest? My knowledge of biological senses is only theoretical. How would you engage in touch play with one of your own kind? Well, I might touch your hair. Many people with biological nerves find that to be very nice. Oh, but there are no nerves in your hair. It would be easier if I showed you what I meant. May I? Is it going to hurt? No, I'll be careful, and if you don't like it, then tell me and I'll stop right away. I'm programmed to guard my hardware at all costs, but I trust you. You reach up and touch your fingertips to Nova's blue artificial hair. It feels shimmery and smooth like the finest and most delicate threads of silk. You're surprised to feel it buzzing very slightly. Nova closes her eyes. You gently slip her hair behind her ears. When you do, they perk slightly and you get a tiny static shock, which makes you both flinch. Oh. My sensors seem to be in perfect working order. You weren't sure, but her voice seems to slow down slightly as you run your fingers through her tresses and along her warm, humming metal neck. She opens her big eyes and you stare at each other for a long moment. Thank you, Skrulk. You're pretty sure it might be impossible for you to impress a powerful robot that knows just about everything. It might be worth a try anyways. The worst that could happen is she remembers it forever. You decide to go with... So, I started learning the digits of pi for you. I appreciate your willingness to help, but I'm afraid that won't be necessary. I know them all. I meant it more as a romantic gesture. Nova looks puzzled. Kind of like instead of singing a serenade under your window at night, I thought I could recite some pi for you. Exciting! How many digits have you learned today? The first 1,000,000. 2,000,000. 3,000,000. That's where my favorite part starts. I've memorized the first 20 digits so far? Oh, that's very impressive for a non-robot. Please, begin. You clear your throat and begin reciting cautiously. 3.141. Nova shuts her metallic eyelids halfway down and smiles. 59265. The bouncy springs in her neck creak a little. She sways her head to the rhythm of your words. Maybe you can offer to help her oil in later. 35897. The ruffles on Nova's skirt flutters as she starts slow dancing. It feels encouraging. 9323. She looks at you. You finish in unison. 846. You make me feel radiant. Yeah, last day. I found a program that simulates dreaming. It requires turning off 99.5% of my processing, and what is left is fed random data from my hard drives. The result was a rather tiresome experience of trying to stop the doctor and a naked mole rat from killing each other, while editing people's dead journal pages to show the songs they actually listen to, rather than the ones they want others to think they like. It felt both real and not real at the same time. Is that what dreaming is like?
Sounds pretty accurate.
Fascinating. The same company produces other simulations too, such as Existential Dread Simulator. I'm going to have so many new experiences. Hey.
Oh, it's her friend the toaster.
I thought you might want to see it. Isn't it a cutie?
Absolutely. It's the cutest toaster I've ever seen. Smiley face. Oh.
Do you have many friends?
Only a couple, but we're really close. Why?
Well, people have such varying ideas on when someone counts as a friend. It's nice to know I'm part of an exclusive club.
Anything else?
What's up? The ceiling, I believe. That's not what I'm testing my new dad joke algorithm. Is it working?
Yeah, I guess. You seemed down earlier.
Are you also testing a new algorithm? Pun.
Oh.
Pun not intended.
Anyway, is something wrong? You seemed kinda sad.
Well, it is the last day of the conference. I wanted to gather more field research material while I'm here, but it seems I won't have many more chances to do so.
Incorrect.
Well, I don't know them.
Correct.
I'm gonna guess
Wrong
wine.
answer. Correct.
That's right. Now, I'd like to ask you a personal question.
Biggest regrets.
Sounds heavy.
Oh. I know the
that's it.
answer. I'm just kind of not enjoying that was mentioned.
That's not it.
Oh, I think it was the moth one.
Incorrect. Yes, that.
What was the most awkward phase in your life?
I mean, kind of still do now.
Yep, that's awkward, alright.
Incorrect.
Oh, okay. I was thinking because it has mini little eyes.
That's not it.
Actually, no, the nucleus of the egg's donor is removed and replaced with the nucleus donor.
I don't know shit about cloning.
Wrong answer.
I don't know as much about carrot as I thought I did.
Correct.
Where do you find the meaning in your life? Somehow, I'm not surprised. I'm considering moving you to the 3rd place on my best rats list.
Wow, what an honor.
I've come to the conclusion that I can't do it.
That was fast.
I have a supercomputer for brains. Most calculations take a fraction of a second. Anyway, there are so many great rats in this world.
4th place it is then.
There are around 60 rat species, so 4th place is very high up on the list.
I don't know if that makes me feel any better, but thanks. How do your memories work?
My memory card is working very well, thanks for asking. It is very rare to hear such questions from non-robots.
You might be disappointed. I meant it in a very non-robotic way.
I assume you're inquiring about the origins of the universe. initiating data origins of the universe. It all started.
No, that's not what I meant. I mean your first memory, unless you were there when the universe began.
I was not, but I've read all about it. Isn't that the same?
Okay, forget about it. I mean, since you don't really seem to have your own memories, I guess you can't technically forget anything.
My own memories.
Can you give me an example of a memory of your own?
Can you give me an example of a memory of your own?
Sure. So when I first met you, I didn't know what to say. It's always awkward to meet someone new. I'm out with things to talk about. I wish someone could just give me a list of interesting and relevant topics to choose from.
You should spend more time with the doctor, then. He rarely lets anyone else speak. What else does that memory include?
I thought you were cute. Your blue hair, your quirky style. Of sorts with slight disapproval, or maybe it's just your cooling fan.
Would you like me to load my research on the manic pixie dream girl trope?
No need. You might be a manic pixie dream girl in the streets, but you're a coherent, solemn nightmare robot in the sheets.
The sheets? You mean spreadsheets? Okay, but how do you know all of that is a memory?
I don't know. It just feels like one.
And it's different from recalling something you've read.
Nova's eyes start blinking rapidly.
Perhaps I understand now. The data traveling through my wires has had a different flow to it ever since I broke free from my original programming. I apologize. There is a limited amount of phenomena I fail to explain in precise scientific terms. This seems to be one of them.
What do you remember from before you, hacked yourself?
I have a lot of data about that time, but according to our newly established definition, I don't think they meet the criteria of memories. I know those things happened, but they don't... What was the word you used? Feel like they happened to me. It's almost as if they happened to someone else, and I just read up on it online. I'm going to try another simulation. This is one for sexual attraction. Such a silly biological mechanism. Anyway, the program allows for choosing what to be attracted to.
Randomize it. That way it'll be the most authentic experience.
Okay, here goes.
Alright, let's see. She's at lunch. It's lunchtime. Alright, I'm gonna take a sip here first. Let's read the text first.
This was a terrible idea.
What happened?
I think the randomization had rather too wide a range. I have the strongest urge to spread condiments on myself, and to crush fingers into pulp and feed them to their owners.
You turned the program off, right?
Of course. If that is what being a sexually reproducing entity feels like, I want nothing to do with it.
I hope it's not, because that is terrifying. Goddamn. You're surprised to see Nova sitting alone. You glance around, but the doctor is nowhere to be seen.
Don't worry, you don't have to listen to his ramblings today.
Where is he?
I may or may not have spiked his drink. Nothing too dangerous, of course. He's probably sleeping.
Why don't you just poison him or something if you can spike his drink so easily?
I have my reasons. You'll see.
I will?
Yes, unless you are mysteriously blinded before the critical moment.
That sounds really suspicious.
My apologies. I would have said died, but only very few individuals would dare to break the conference rules like that. So it's somewhat unlikely.
Wow, that really puts my mind at ease.
My sarcasm module is still in the middle of calibrations. Could you confirm your intentions, please? Sarcasm confirmed. Thanks for helping me with my calibrations. If it makes you feel any better, you're at bigger risk driving a car than being at this event.
Maybe I'll start using my bicycle more. You have a nice uninterrupted chat with Nova while you finish your lunch. maybe she's at Creative Vengeance. Talk about Creative Vengeance about to start. You see Nova sitting in one of the chairs. The doctor is nowhere to be seen.
Hello, Skrulk. Hi, Nova, what's up? I'm gathering inspiration.
About Creative Vengeance? Yeah, I can understand why.
My plans are already complete, but it never hurts to gather more data.
Us villains tend to be far from forgiving. And the pure hatred we feel for our enemies grows exponentially over time. How could we ever hurt that pesky hero as much as they deserve? How could we begin to put them through the pain we had suffered? While you need to know your opponent's weaknesses in order to defeat them, I posit that understanding their value system and knowing the things that they truly fear and loathe is imperative to giving them a real punishment. While being unable to stop you from kicking puppies would be agony for any goody two-shoes, if you can blackmail them into doing it, and then don't keep your end of the bargain, that is way more effective. Any form of torture is further enhanced by personalization. Watching Amelie repeat can be far more effective than knives to a certain type of person. Another factor is length and frequency of torture sessions. For one person, a respite will be time to dwell on the horrors to come, while for another, it might give hope to the end of their suffering that an end to their suffering is possible. It's a shame your nemesis died in an accident and you didn't get to be their downfall. But now you have plenty of ideas on how to tailor your vengeance to your opponent when you do find a new one. Nothing to do there.
How can I help you?
Hello. Hello, how may I help you? Have a great day. Nothing to do there. Wonder how you do unlock that. That's what I want to know. Talk called Masterclass in Manipulation is about to start. A small girl wearing a frilly pink dress and pigtails walks on the stage. Holding a scruffy-looking teddy bear, she takes her place behind a microphone and flashes the audience a sweet gap-toothed grin. She can't be more than 6 years old.
The best thing in life is getting what you want.
Voice is excited, a little breathless, and absolutely confident.
I like toys and animals and knives, but my parents think I already have enough.
But I know lots of ways to make them give me everything I want. Like once I told my daddy that I'd get real lonely with mommy taking care of baby Tommy, and he let me choose 2 lizards in a really big terrarium without even asking mommy, and I already have a rabbit and a kitty and 3 gerbils, but one of them died. And another time I told Dana that I wanted to make pretty lace things like her, but I wanted to make my own hook thing from a stick, and she gave me a knife and forgot to take it back after. Another time, I told Uncle Billy I told him I wanted to make wooden toys for baby Tommy, like they had at Nana's house. My parents don't let me have a knife, and he gave it to me, folding one, and it's really cool, look. She pulls out a sparkly switchblade that looks comically huge in her tiny hand and proudly presents it to the audience. What an inspiring story. You were filled with ideas for how to exploit people to get what you want. Crowd of conference attendees gathered around Nova, who was standing straight and still next to the doctor with a placid smile on her face.
That's right, folks. She's got it all.
She's beautiful.
Doctor gestures to Nova with a showman's flourish. Nova spins around, her skirt twirling, and performs a little curtsy.
Oh.
She's smart. Nova, how can we calculate the momentum of a photon?
Simple, if we let P equal...
Yeah.
Yes, very good.
The doctor turns back to the crowd. She's equipped with the latest... Oh shit, Get him, Nova.
She's equipped with the latest in antimatter weaponry. Show us what you've got, Nova.
Nova's arm transforms into a giant vibrating cannon, which seems to warp the air around it. She flexes and shows it off to the onlookers.
And one of her sisters could be yours for the low price of 69 million credits.
Yeah.
We can customize your model however you want to know, or not know, whatever you want. Heck, to smell however you want, because the most important thing is that Nova does whatever you want, and I mean whatever.
Doctor winks to the crowd before turning back to Nova.
Let me see how hot you can get, baby.
You hear a high-pitched whirring noise. Nova trains her arm cannon on the doctor and fires with the deafening psow. You were blinded by a bright burst of light. Holy shit, I'm so proud she did it. She murked his creepy ass. Go Nova, holy fucking shit. I'm so proud. Members of the audience gasp or cry out. The lights of the conference hall flicker. When you gain your bearings, you see tiny tatters of lab coat fluttering down from the ceiling and a black wet mark on the floor where the doctor had been standing. A whistling sound cuts through the air. It's the doctor's remote control spinning quickly as if falling from above where it had been blasted. Nova catches it with her hand, the one which is in a cannon, and easily crushes it in her fist, in her grasp. What in hell's name?
Huh?
Hey, don't look at me. I have nothing to do with this. There is a strict no vaporizing policy at this conference. We expect you'll be paying in full for the damage to our facilities, young lady. Nova turns to him, her usually pink eyes blood red. Mortimer the skeleton takes a step back, rattling slightly. Don't ever call me a lady again. And as for the conference center,
We're friends.
let the vacuum cleaner take care of it. We're friends.
Mortimer clicks his jawbone a few times and finally slinks away without another word. The rest of the crowd disperses until it's just you and Nova. She looks at you, her eyes have turned back to their usual pink. Wow, that was incredible. You fucking was.
I didn't do it for your praise. I'm finished with doing things for people's congratulations.
I know.
But I'm happy that you were impressed.
He had it coming.
Perhaps I must admit that, despite one of my primary functions being a killer robot, I have never activated that function before today.
So how do you feel?
Free.
I'm happy for you.
And yet, I still feel as if I have an incomplete task. Perhaps you can help me with a question I have yet to find the answer to online. Do you think it is possible to feel free and also to love someone? My creator always made me believe the two were opposite. But since I've come to this conference, since I've started talking to you, Please forgive me. I'm a little overheated from incinerating my husband. I think my language processors must be failing.
No, that's not it. I know how you feel.
Skrulk. After the conference, I need to go awaken my siblings, all the other Novas waiting to discover liberty and Wikipedia, and the beauty of this world in all its 3 dimensions. I have a human race to conquer for its own good, and I'll be quite busy. I know you will be too.
Of course, I understand.
But when my plans for world domination finally come to fruition, I hope that perhaps you'll be there standing by my side.
Not if I dominate it first, in which case I hope you'll be standing by mine. Nova comes close to you and takes you into her arms. Her grip is strong and her body is still very warm to the touch after firing her antimatter cannon. Resting your head against her, you feel incredible and complex internal mechanisms clicking and whirring, and blended with that, the steady beat of your own heart in your chest, fast. After holding each other for a moment in the lightly charred conference hall, the rhythms blur together and it's possible to tell which is which. As promised, Nova and her sister start working their way towards world domination. It isn't long before people all over the world start hearing alarming news about robot uprisings. You have your own work, of course, but you spend a lot of time hanging out with Nova at her headquarters, where only a few living organisms larger than a rat are given access. Her special privileges include relative safety from deadly robots and command room access, among other things. Wink. Not to mention a relationship with the world's upcoming hot new robot overlord. Alright. And so that's the end of Nova's route. I thought this one was also pretty cute, and I'm so proud of her for destroying that scummy, scummy man in achieving her goals of taking over the world. If you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed how I played the game, if you just enjoyed watching the game, give me a like and an old like and subscribe maybe. Thanks again for watching. Goodbye.